welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. The trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
If you hear me choking, it's because I was too busy almost drowning trying to purify myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Well, you're drowning yourself in great content when it comes to Wrestling Wit, as last week on the show we had on Koa on Tuesday, and Ryan Full Donovan on Wednesday. Two incredible interviews. Definitely go check those out if you haven't already. Fantastic interviews, but always looking towards the future. We have this upcoming Wednesday, Joey Knight Jr. We talk about his issues and problems with Matthew D. Luna and Leslie Lorenzo. We talk about his faction that he's in. We talk about winning heavyweight championships, wrestling at a rave, some of his friends getting, I don't know what the correct term is, but hit on by cougars. There's a lot of interesting content on that one. We talk about his action figure collection, his DVD collection, all his collections. We talk Dragon Ball Z and a hell of a lot more. Definitely go to check that out on Tuesday, and Wednesday, I should say. And then check out our social media at Wrestling with E for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, and links to the interviews as that information becomes available to us. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Kaliko?
Never, because I'm under. I just came over from being under the water. I see myself out.
And that was Kaliko Yachts. It was not a great day for wrestling, as we are wrestling with the news, and a big part of the news this week was the passing of pro wrestling legend Dory Funk Jr., the brother of Terry Funk, the son of Dory Funk Sr., and an absolute positive legend in the business. Unfortunately, he has passed away earlier this week. And yeah, Kaliko, could you kind of speak to Dory Funk Jr.?
I mean, the crazy part is that, like, he only won the NWA Heavyweight Championship once, if I remember. But it was like the second longest reign, only under Luthez. So, so that kind of tells you, like, that kind of worked. But the Funks are, Texas legends when you think about it, like that wrestling family lore. And it was weird because he had just got done wrestling like 2 years ago. This dude was wrestling until 83.
Yeah, passed away.
So, like, I guess him and 85, and him and his brothers just seem to should have just kept wrestling. I might as well. It almost was like wrestling kept him alive in a sense.
Oh yeah. Obviously, he competed at National Wrestling Alliance (NWA), All Japan Pro Wrestling, World Wrestling Federation, where they renamed him Haas, which was definitely a odd thing to do. Then a return to All Japan, and yeah, like you said, one of the longest reigning NWA champions, um, and yeah, just an absolute positive, legend in the business. Um, I mean, whenever we lose, a legend like this, it always sucks. But considering, what he's done in the business and just as a human being as well at 85 years old, I don't think it's all that sad. I think it's definitely something to be celebrated to say, this guy, lived a fantastic life. I mean, to be wrestling at 83 years old is nothing to sneeze at. Like, I mean, I feel like Ric Flair would love to have had that honor as well. Um, but no, yeah. Already in the WWE Hall of Fame. In class of 2009. Multiple tag team championships with his brother. Um, I don't have the exact. He was actually NWA champion 2 times. Um, I don't actually have the date of how long he held the championship, but like you said, second longest run. So yeah. He was given the Luke Dez Award in 2019. And yeah. Also, he also, and he does leave 5 children. So the legacy is well ado, I would say. And I would just kind of end it with, our thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Dory Funk Jr. Now, on to other things that happened this week. There has been announced a tournament to crown a new #1 contender for Roman Reigns as he will defend the title September 14th in Mexico City. I don't know if you had, you were able to look at the bracket, but all signs point to Penta being the #1 contender, which I'm definitely a fan of. I would actually love to see Penta versus Roman Reigns, and if the match goes over well, I can't imagine that wouldn't put Penta in the conversation to be more of a main title competitor as well. But what say you, Kaliko?
Well, I didn't get a chance to look at the bracket, so give me, because obviously traveling, but give me who else is in the tournament?
Let me pull that real quick.
Because I would think it would be the best of AAA, and it would make sense if Penta is the guy to win it. Because they've been looking for a Mexican crossover star since Rey Mysterio.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, Alberto Del Rio held that title for a long time, but, obviously Alberto Del Rio. But
Alberto Del Rio as a heel is not the same as a Rey. Like, they want someone who can, sell those masks.
I get that. So, and I mean, Penta does that. So here we go. August 10th, we got Penta versus Laredo Kid. On the 15th.
Oh shit, that's a bye. That's damn near a bye. But
on the 15th, we have Psycho Clown versus La Parka.
Ooh. Ooh.
On the what date is this? On the 17th, we have Dragon Lee versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Oh, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Okay.
And then the last match is Rey Fenix versus El Fiscal. That's also takes place on the 17th.
So I could see La Parka and I could see Penta. And the only reason I say La Parka is because La Parka in Mexico is like,
Yeah.
I'd say the Undertaker here times 10. Like, no one watches wrestling. Even if I had friends in Mexico. So they don't watch wrestling, but they know who the fuck La Parka is.
That's really funny because like the first time I ever seen Penta, and like this was a really long time ago, but the first thing I thought when I saw Penta is that La Parka. Like La Parka is that big of a legend that you know who he is. Like he's common knowledge for wrestling fans. But I would also say that that is the original La Parka or even L.A. Park. Uh, this
That's true.
this
However, the the
this La
gimmick carries.
Parka is teaming with you know Mr. Iguana. So I mean, do you want the guy that's teaming with the lizard guy, with the lizard puppet wrestling Roman Reigns? You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter because it's La Parka. See, I get what you're saying. It's like the versions of doing the clown or versions of, I get it. However, if you're trying to build a big audience that can to draw in to watch that, La Parka is not a terrible choice.
I could make
Just because of
yeah.
the just because of the fact of name association, no matter what version of it is. If the motherfuckers say La Parka, it's like, oh shit. And I think the people of Mexico know it's not that La Parka, but just the fact that it's
A La Parka.
La, the legacy of La Parka getting the WWE title shot. Do you see that? Does that make sense?
Right. It could just be a guy
But
in a parka.
could be me in a parka. I never know.
Yeah. Honestly, I would think that La Parka would be maybe the second best, choice here. Maybe Dirk.
Yeah, Penta,
Well,
Dr. Wagner.
Continue what you were saying.
Dr. Wagner. That was what I was thinking. Top three, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was thinking top three: Penta, La Parka, Dr. Wagner.
Really, you're putting Dr. Wagner in there.
El Hijo del Dr. Wagner. Because it's about putting Roman against Mexican legacies more so than,
Well, I would say that, like I said, it's Penta's tournament to lose at this point. Like it
it's
is.
a tournament to lose.
Yeah, like it's literally Penta and everybody else in my opinion. But if I had a second, person that I would put up there, I would probably say Psycho Clown because it's not going to be,
Really?
yeah, I would. I would say that he has an intensity to him that he could really give a good performance against, Roman. Uh, and he's not just going to like phone it in. You know that he's going to give like that extra that he needs to put it over the top. Uh, and the third would be La Parka because again he's La Parka, but not the La Parka that we know. So that's kind of how I
Well, that
feel.
is true. That's true. I get it. I get your point.
But I think, just in general, I mean, Penta versus Roman Reigns, I mean, it kind of shows you how impressed they were with Penta in his Intercontinental run, because I will say Penta had one of the best Intercontinental runs in some time. Um, that they have a big show in Mexico. They're not just going default, Rey Mysterio. They're going with, somebody that they could actually try and put money on and, try and get him to that main event spot, I would say. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I get it. I mean, he's so good they didn't even give him an Intercontinental rematch. But we'll get to that later. But you know who I didn't think I thought would have been in this tournament, but he's not?
Who?
Dom.
Well, and I would
And
like to.
the reason I bring up
Yeah,
and the reason I bring him up because in the States he's a heel. In Mexico, he's a babyface, baby. Him or El Grande.
right. He is. No, he absolutely is. But I think that they don't want, because we're that Raw is going right up against AAA Mania. So I think that they would rather just want to focus on, Dom and El Grande rather than have that, added, distraction of Roman Reigns where it doesn't need to necessarily be. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I get it. I'm just like I play devil's advocate because I can see Dom going to his dad like, "Why the fuck you ain't put me in this tournament?" Knowing that I'm only the champion of Mexico.
Right, but I mean, it does Dominic no favors losing to Roman.
It's gonna be doing anybody no favors losing the Roman. Nobody's getting this favor. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, speaking of Dominic Mysterio, let's talk about the the greatest women's champion to ever sleep with Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley. She had surgery over the week for a partially torn meniscus. Um, so she is definitely going to be out for some time. How much time we don't necessarily know at this point, but I feel like, you know, that interim women's champion, terminology we're using right now is going to quickly turn into just women's championship for Chelsea, if I'm being honest. But what say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, partially torn meniscus, 4 to 6 months, give or take,
That's
on the what?
oh, I was gonna say that's a long time.
Because you got to, because not every they give it 4 to 6, 4 on the leaner side, depending on how the body heals. 6 on, because with a meniscus, they're going to want to make sure that that thing actually congels, heals properly with the muscles, and then once it heals and once it's good, physical therapy. So just see how it goes.
Right.
So it's not like, and plus it's I mean the meniscus, that's the knee, man. It's precious. So they're not gonna, 6 being conservative. 4, I would say, on the aggressive side, considering her body heals the surgery quickly. She's able to get back into rehab because it's not like she had the surgery and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to rehab."
Right. And
So it's gonna be 2 to 4 weeks just for the healing from the surgery.
it's already been a couple of months since she got injured. So, I mean, we're, let's say that it's, let's take the shorter route here. If it is 4 months, let's say, then she's already been out 6 months without defending the
Right. She
championship.
she could have been had the surgery, is what you're thinking.
Right. So, I mean, it just seems like, a, and I said this the last time we talked about the interim, women's championship. It's extra steps that don't need to necessarily be taken. Strip off the championship, put it on somebody else. Obviously, that's Chelsea Green right now. And when she comes back, she can challenge for it. It's built in. But don't. It's complicating matters for no reason. And again, we don't. There's no time frame, and it doesn't seem like there will be a time frame. It's kind of seems like they're just hoping for the best. And as we know, as pro wrestling fans, the the best case scenario doesn't always work out.
Uh, I mean, it depends because I look at it like they were trying to do everything except surgery, and this reminds me of like and this is a sports terminology. So like I remember when Dwight Howard he tore his shoulder muscle, and he could have opted for the surgery, but what they were doing was holding out, hoping that he could physically rehab it while continuing to play. I mean, he ended up playing while doing physical rehab, right? At least till the end of the season, then had the surgery. And I think that they were trying to exhaust all. I think they spent a lot of time trying to exhaust all options to avoid surgery. That it ended up, having to be surgery. Because I think that they went to like 4 or 5 different opinions to see whether they could rehab it out. Is it how deep is the tear? How.
Right. And I can.
So I get why they were trying to hold out. They were holding out, hoping it could be rehabbed. It's just that, like you said, if they knew that they were going to hold it out for the rehab, I mean, like, what, 30 days in? This is where they got to bring back that 30-day rule because that shit is just ridiculous.
Right. And that's and let's be a little bit more fair to it. Let's say that they didn't do the dirty day rule, which they should have, undoubtedly. They there was a time frame when she could have came back, and that was SummerSlam. SummerSlam, obviously the second biggest show in WWE. If you can't make it and you can't get to our second biggest show, then maybe it's time to find somebody that can get to that show and be healthy and build a rivalry and a program that will sell tickets. I shudder to think that if this was around WrestleMania time and not SummerSlam time, that we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But we don't know in that regard. But yeah, I feel like you're given that time frame of you need to get healthy before this show. If you can't, we have to pull the plug on this. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't even know. I wouldn't say you have to get healthy before this show because it sounds like it's an ankle tweak and hey, you gotta get when it's really more like a meniscus tear. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a knee tear. And you're like, yeah, we ain't trying to tear it any further. Let's try to figure out what remedies can be alleviated to see if the muscle can because sometimes with physical rehab, you can kind of rehab the muscle to work without it.
Right. And I
And
think
it just seems like that couldn't happen. That's what I.
And I didn't mean it like, oh, you have to get healthy by X amount of days. No, no. But what I meant was, obviously it was it's still a wait and see process, but there should have been a time limit to that wait and see process. Obviously you don't want her to come back sooner than she necessarily needs to. But, you obviously it's still a business and you have to sell tickets to that show. So, that's what I meant. We could wait and see up to X amount of days, but if, you can't necessarily make it to this show, then we're going to have to find somebody that can. That's what I meant.
But I think they would have knew that like 2 months ago. I think they would have known that right after she won the title. I would have said like 3 weeks.
Was it only 3 weeks that she held the title before she got hurt?
I mean, the last time she wrestled was, to my knowledge, WrestleMania. Or maybe the night after.
No, she wrestled, she wrestled, what is her name? JC. And then she wrestled in Italy. She wrestled, Jade in Italy.
Ah, that's right. It was June. Okay. Was it May, June?
Was it June or May?
May. It was May or June. That's what it was.
Yeah, so I mean...
These times blur.
2 months. That was 2 months ago. So, I mean, there was, ample time, I would say. But,
Clash in Italy. Yeah, it was May. May to June. Like May 31st, June 1st. Same damn thing. May, June time frame. So 2 months. Yeah, but even then, a meniscus, even if they took that, like we said, they would have stripped her the belt, July? So you still would have had to crown somebody, and but I think they were just hoping it wasn't as serious as it was to where she could do the show or rehab it out till after the show. Because keep in mind, Seth Rollins kind of had the same thing. And the difference is he wrestled the show.
And didn't he have to have surgery afterwards?
He had surgery right after and was gone for a hot ass minute.
We're talking about the WrestleMania run, right?
Yeah, WrestleMania 40 run.
Okay.
Where he wrestled back-to-back nights on a fucked up knee, which was his meniscus, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why I say that you could hope it out, because remember, he wrestled that night, he wrestled the whole weekend and lost both shows, so he could lose it out. So maybe they were hoping, okay, Rhea, maybe let's see if you got if it's good enough to where you could wrestle at SummerSlam, you'll lose the title, and then we could get you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could see them pulling that, like, hey, okay, let's see if we could get you wrestling at SummerSlam. We'll and then once you lose, we'll get you into surgery, get you up out the paint, you gone. Because they already done it before, right, with Seth.
Well, talking about somebody that lost at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar, he announced on the Pat McAfee show that he is officially retired, has no plans to wrestle again. I thought it was a really eloquent speech by Brock, not necessarily talking about him per se, but, what people need to do to become the next Brock Lesnar. Brock, when he needs to talk, can be very eloquent, and I did enjoy what he had to say on the Pat McAfee show. That being said, they're already thinking about plans of bringing him back for WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia for one more big payday in front of the Saudi crowd. And the thing is, I would say if the price was high enough, I do think that he would actually do it. Even though he had a pretty, he had a pretty good, retirement at SummerSlam. I could make the argument he had a pretty good retirement at WrestleMania, but I digress. Um,
Exactly. Like shit. It's like, I don't know what the fuck he got.
like it's like like the John Cena retirement tour, but he's retiring at every show.
No shit. Just do war games and then fucking retire from war games. Get eliminated from the Rumble and then a bid and retire from the Rumble. And then that way you can retire from all the big four. Fuck it. Just go to Money in the Bank, lose the briefcase, you know, win the briefcase, lose the cash in just so you can retire from.
I would be under the assumption that he'd be working. Obafemi would be working a higher profile match at WrestleMania. Um, maybe a title match, if God permits it. Um, what would they do for Brock Lesnar? What match would Brock Lesnar be having at WrestleMania?
Last I heard, the Saudis was one big Van Vader, so you know Brock Vader.
Okay, well, we'll have to get the Ouija board out, but there's this guy on NXT called Mason Rook. Put him under a mask. They probably won't notice the difference. I mean, begrudgingly, I say, Gunther, you know, the career killer. It would make
wouldn't
sense.
wouldn't mean anything because him coming back negates the Oba effect. So.
I would suppose the gimmick is after this retirement, you cannot retire any more times. This is the last retirement. Is the
Man,
stipulation?
you know how these wrestlers go. The only person well, never mind, because Shawn Michaels even retired. The only person that actually retired and actually missed it was Cena.
Was who?
John goddamn Cena.
I mean, that's what time permitted, Kaliko. It was only a year. It was less than a year ago that he retired. So we don't know if John Cena will return for a payday in the future, but we shall see. But I mean, we don't necessarily need to see Roman Reigns against Brock again. We've seen Seth and Brock. We've only seen Punk and Brock once. My God, was it a banger of a match? But it only happened once. So maybe Punk Lesnar would be something.
Yeah, because everybody was hoping for Brock Gunther. But thank God it wasn't Brock Gunther. Because if it was Brock Gunther, everybody be cheering for Brock.
Right. I mean, the main question I would have is, do you think that Brock Lesnar will wrestle at WrestleMania?
You know, we'll see how. Nah, I think Brock Brock usually don't speak, which is funny because when he retired at Mania, we just thought he just was doing it. He just was like, he didn't say he was done. We just gave the illusion that he was done. I think he's a guy of his word, though. I think when he say I'm done, he's like I'm done. So I don't see Brock as a person his word.
I would say that if the price tag is right, that he would. So,
That price better be a farmland. That price better be a farm in Saskatchewan.
like
A
Saudis
hundred
can't
acres in
afford,
Saskatchewan, and I'm yours.
like the Saudis can't afford it,
The Saudis can afford it, but I mean, it's still up to him to say yes or no, right?
Rachel.
Like I don't see him, especially being saying it on the McAfee show, because I'll tell you this dude don't do that many interviews, and him being on Pat McAfee is the reason it seems so eloquent, because McAfee talks as if he's like one of the guys. This is one of those things where he was comfortable being himself on there. And shit, nah, man, let that dude, let him have it, man. He's done. If he's done, he's done. And he said it the third person too. I think this is it for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, I think he's done. Like, well, yeah, he's done. He's done. So
Um, we talked about a, not too long ago Survivor Series, being announced late. I would say that they announced Royal Rumble sooner rather than later. Um, Royal Rumble will be in Arizona in January. I think it might have been in February actually. But yeah, a Royal Rumble will be in Arizona. I believe it's a baseball field. And
Chase Field.
Chase Field, yeah, there you go. Um, so yeah, we finally got, the big the big four locations revealed. It took a while, but here we are.
I
Um,
mean, only after they announced Houston hella late. Come on, lad. Come on.
no, I think it's been a hot minute since Arizona's gotten a PLE, especially a massive PLE. So good on them for sure. Your thoughts on Arizona hosting Royal Rumble? Royal Rumble.
The Rumble. I mean, back to the scene from 2019. That was the last time they had the Rumble in Phoenix. So, and if I remembered it right, I went to that Rumble in Phoenix, and it wasn't actually too shabby. I mean, they definitely can make it work. Um, it's walkable. Everything's walkable in Phoenix. It's January, so it's gonna be brick as shit. But other than if you can handle the brickness, then you'll be alright. The roof will be closed. That I know for damn sure. No open domes because it's a retractable stadium. So, but I'm happy about that. I mean, they're kind of sliding everything west, Midwest, South, Houston to Phoenix. Probably rolling it out to the end of end of the year in the South, and then roll their ass right on over to Saudi.
I wonder what the ticket prices for that is gonna be because obviously it's a big four pay preview, but the ones that are not in a destination city, and I'm sorry, I really wouldn't call Arizona a destination city, have been more on the cheap side compared to
Uh,
you know a Los Angeles and New York or etc. or Vegas.
Phoenix. Well, no, Phoenix is not bad. I'm not gonna say. I will say this. I mean, considering what San Diego was just it because nobody wanted to be in the cold, right? So they kind of worked it, and now they kind of working it again because I think Houston it gets a little brick in Houston. Uh, for this one, Phoenix, it's not that bad. I'm not gonna say is it San Diego? No. Is it LA? No. I mean, they sold it out in St. Louis. Didn't they have a Rumble in St. Louis one time
Um,
in the
that's a
last couple of years?
that's a good question. I know that they did. Indianapolis was 2 years ago.
They did Tampa. Tampa did okay. So I mean, it. I would say Phoenix is better than Tampa.
Would you know?
I've been to Phoenix and Tampa. I've been to both. Tampa is more of a summer. It's a Tampa in the spring, man. It was raining and da da da. You ain't got to worry about that in Phoenix. And
True.
Phoenix as a city is a lot more desirable if you don't plan on leaving. Now, if they had it in Glendale, that's a whole different goddamn animal. Because going from Phoenix to Glendale is a bitch. But if they're keeping it in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, you can walk from I already know the hotel I would stay at. I could walk from my hotel straight down the street to Chase Stadium, go adjacent and go to the convention center for the meet and greets. If they're doing a Raw and SmackDown, the Raw and SmackDown is right there. It is literally, I mean, as far as a city that has the amenities that can make that happen for someone who wants to.
Kaliko?
I'll tell you right now, we went what SummerSlam in Minnesota. Yo, if they brought it back, I wouldn't mind going.
Hmm.
That's how confident I am in this.
Well, speaking of which, they also said that this Royal Rumble will be the last one night Royal Rumble, and that they will be switching to a two-night format for Royal Rumble, going forward in 2028. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. I kind of get where, you could do, the men's on one night and the women's on one night. But I also feel like that would really, you know, there would obviously be a very different, um, exchange of tickets and attendance for both shows. You know what I mean?
I honest. I mean, we're getting it. You might as well get ready for it. Um, and it honest. The only reason it makes sense is because you. It would only make sense in the sense that you want to ride the highs of the Royal Rumble winner, right? So let's say instead of starting with the Women's Royal Rumble, that's the main event of the Royal Rumble, night one, and then you get the surprise of that, and you just get people euphoria like, oh my God, this person won the Royal Rumble. This is night one. I can't wait to night two.
I mean, this sounds completely insane, but could you see them doing two men's Royal Rumbles? One for the Raw side and one for the SmackDown side?
That I thought of that. What, two different Royal Rumbles? But I mean, they don't. They have the roster for it, but the question is, do you really think they're going to pull that off?
I mean, they
Because then
don't.
that means they would have two women's Royal Rumbles, and we know they ain't got the roster for that.
Not necessarily, I would say. Because we know they don't have the roster to actually do it. So it would only be two men, one woman. Obviously, one night you get, a double Royal Rumble, and then, the other night they would have to really patch something to, you know, maybe this sounds odd. Maybe a tag team Royal Rumble. Have
Oh
fif-
no,
15
Jesus Christ, no.
have 15 tag teams.
Teams, nah. We don't want that. Nah.
I never
Nah,
said
nah,
it
nah.
was something that we wanted. I would just say that that's something that they would probably do.
I mean, nah. I think if it were anything, they would do two men's, but I think they would just stick with what I was.
Kaliko?
In the bank won't be too nice, but let me shut the fuck up before they start. Before I start putting ideas in their head.
It would not surprise me at this point.
Yeah, no.
So, we'll definitely see how that unfolds over the next year or so. But, going from, starting the show with a bit of bad news with, Dory Funk Jr., leaving this world. A bit of good news. Bianca Belair and Ford has welcomed a new life into this world. They had a baby boy. And yeah, I'm sure that WWE has already contracted him. So, in a mere 18 years, we will see their child perform for our enjoyment. But in all seriousness, congratulations to Bianca and Montez. Kaliko, you have anything to say about it? I can hear you now.
There we go. See, free. I just spit it out a Nas verse. No one cares.
Okay then.
If Kaliko spits a Nas verse in the woods, would anyone care? But congrats to the couple. Congrats to the couple. I'm pretty sure genetics. I mean, you got genetics of a Marine and a track athlete. Although she went to UT, but gonna be a fast, durable kid. That's for sure.
And that will conclude our
Now
coverage.
let's just hope the IWC doesn't give us that countdown to when Bianca comes back. Shit. Let her chill. Let her be mommy mode, and then she'll get back.
Despite having the child, it doesn't mean that her finger is 100% healed. I mean, the last time I saw it at least, it looked pretty gnarly. So, I mean, she still has to get that finger healed before she, uh, you know, she comes back. But yeah, like you said, let her be mommy, let her, do her thing, and then I'm sure the EST will be back when she's able to. Alright, that will conclude our coverage of the news, and now a quick word from our sponsors.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched. specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE SummerSlam, Night 1 and 2. It took place last Saturday and Sunday. Doesn't say where it is. Oh, there we go. Minneapolis, Minnesota. It took place at
Minnesota.
The U.S. Bank Arena.
U.S. Bank Stadium.
Yes. And night 1 attendance was 36,683. Night 2's attendance was 33,086. Significantly lower for night 2. We'll talk about the quality of each show in a bit. But that's a significant difference, I would say. But the grand total for both nights was 69,000. So, not a bad number to land on in the end. So yeah, let's talk night 1. I thought that night 1 had good energy, honestly. I was kind of present for everything. I felt like everything flowed well. I honestly just felt like it was a solid, card, 6-match card. Where everything landed made sense, and I thought the match quality was pretty good as well. What say you, Kaliko? Kaliko?
I mean, everyone was just having this debate. Like, everyone was just having that, talk about night 1 or night 2 being better. And personally, I thought night 1 from beginning to end, as a whole, was better than night 2. I guess, and it's weird because I'm in the minority, because I'm like, everything flowed. It, like you said, it flowed. The matches were good. There were no matches people were trying to skip out on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I thought personally, even the whole Punk Cody thing was nice. The Brock Oba thing was crazy. And oh my God, I got a story for you.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, and it deals with these bloody mother effing chairs. But we'll get to that. I will get to that in a minute. Now, me personally, I thought night 1 was a better flow as a whole. I thought night 2 had the better opening and ending, which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? Night 2, the opening and the closing made it strong, and you had some stuff in the middle that was okay. But most people probably is poo-poo in the Danhausen.
Mildly, I would say. I think okay is a generous.
I mean, okay. Okay, because the Gable Penta match was good. I mean, when we're saying okay, we're basically, let's just be honest, we're shitting on the Danhausen Dom match.
And I will be equally shitting on the Baron Corbin match as well. But
Corbin. Wait a minute.
We will get there.
Corbin match. Wait, what?
We will get there when we get there.
Now, before we get to this, I want to take my time and talk about the city of Minnesota. And
Sure.
honestly, Minnesota as a host city, I've never been to a quieter downtown in my life. But then I realized why that downtown is quiet. Because they don't sell liquor after 10 o'clock. What the fuck kind of shit is this? How are you a sports city and don't sell alcohol after 10? They don't serve alcohol till 8 a.m. Then they got the goddamn motherfucking audacity to say, oh no, you can't buy alcohol at stores, like liquor. You can't go to the Ralph's or a Kroger and get liquor. You gotta find a dedicated motherfucking liquor store. Like, I'm just gonna spend all my goddamn time running all through Minneapolis looking for a motherfucking liquor store. That's the shit I really don't like about Minneapolis.
And you went all
Because
over
Cleveland, at least, Cleveland will let you drink. And Cleveland will let you buy drinks. So I will say that. But on the flip side, Minneapolis got some of the best food I've had in a while. And the people were freaking amazing and friendly. Just not a bad person in sight. Pretty dope. And it's very walkable from the hotel to the convention center to, like, when I say, like, as a wrestling review, as a SummerSlam review, or as a PLE review, if I had to give this 1 to 5 stars, 5 stars. And the reason being, is if you got a rental, you could just go straight across the lakes to St. Paul and get some of the good ass food that everybody was talking about, which is like the cheeseburger with the cheese in the middle. And I just realized, I was like, why would they say that? Why would they say a cheeseburger with the cheese in the middle when cheese is usually in the middle of a cheeseburger if it's a double cheeseburger? But it's because it's like a molten lava cheeseburger where they stuff it in the bitch and you bite it and the cheese just oozes out and burns your shit like Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial. But it's pretty good. That being said, what?
Why would you use that analogy? Kaliko? Respawn.
And I like the fact that I could goddamn hypothetically walk my ass from my room to the hotel to get some shit from the store, get back to my hotel, to get to the goddamn stadium in time. It was pretty dope shit.
Well,
Doesn't want to walk.
Let's get into the night 1 match card. First match out, Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky in 13 minutes and 35 seconds to retain the women's world championship. I thought that this was a solid match. Definitely, obviously, Io is one of the best they have. They had a good match, quite literally a month ago at Night of Champions. I didn't necessarily think that this match was as good as the Night of Champions match. But I do think that it still had, what it needed, to be a good, start of the night and kind of get people into, everything. It had the Gaga and the things it needed to make Liv Morgan, be the antagonist. So yeah, I thought that it worked well. Again, I thought that their last match was better, but I digress. What's it?
I mean, it was a good start. It was physical. That match was physical. I will say that. That match was very, 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 like, being there in person. They were laying it on each other. So I give them kudos for that. Liv retaining, it kind of made sense because It's one of the fool me once, fool me twice thing. It's hard to beat a person twice, especially considering in like back to back, right?
Right.
Like back to back match. Liv. I mean, people get mad, gonna bitch about her title defense or whatever the case may be, but I mean, lo and behold, she kind of earned it. Because she's only was putting in that work all of last year and the year prior. So I mean, it ain't like the girl, was skating. It ain't like she was part time in it.
True.
So I give her props for that. And it's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here. One with EO, and then two with the Judgment Day. Now that they got the IC title and the women's title, and how Roxanne plays into that.
And obviously Becky Lynch has returned, and La Primera, and obviously
Ooh, La Primera.
Soul just lost the title, and Lyra is in the wings looking for a title shot herself. So I mean, there are a lot of moving parts to all of this for sure.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see because with War Games coming up in about 3 months, it'll be interesting to see how they work this. Depending on what teams are they planning on putting in the War Games?
Well, I mean, there was
Because
no
on
teams
one
last year.
side, I mean, because what?
There was no. I mean, there was no women's faction. Oh, you're talking
No,
about
no.
either Judgment Day or Fatal Influence.
I'm that you got Fatal Influence and you do have Judgment Day, but I'm also looking at it like Anaya Lash, Anaya Lash, Jade's got a group. Jade's got a group.
I mean,
Charlotte and Alexa as a team. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see like who they pick.
what's definitely not
Who
going to be great. Jade's group, because the two of them, her two baddies, are useless. Honestly, I mean, nobody's paying a ticket to see Michigan and BFAB. So it's going to have to be Fatal Influence or Judgment Day.
That's what I'm guessing. And if it's Judgment Day, you can see the Stephanie Becky team up.
Right.
It's just a matter of who are those other two and who is going to be Stephanie, Soul, Becky?
Right. And I can make the argument that because Judgment Day needs a fourth member, that you could do Lyra, because Lyra is, a heel right now. And, she has intention, so, promise me a title match and I'll help you out here. You know what I mean?
I don't think Lyra is out there like that. To be she's not of coherent sound to be like negotiating, if that makes sense.
I mean, it's 3 months away. she could get there. She could get coherent enough.
The match was hard hitting. Me sitting second row, thanks Club WWE. I will say that. That's another shout out, Club WWE. That was clutch. I'm not gonna lie. And so, hey, excuse me,
Bless you.
but I mean, yeah, the right person won. It kind of steps over, and now you got Liv, and now you see why Liv won, because you got two people running after her, which is it prolongs that storyline. Vice, if she had a lost, the Stephanie return would mean nothing, right?
I don't think it means anything. I don't think that the title needed to be attached to Liv for her to want, a piece of Liv's ass. Since she's the one that injured her.
I think so because it keeps Stephanie in the title picture,
True.
and the fact that you got Becky there, it gives Stephanie possibly 2 hurdles to get through simultaneously.
True. How many stars
So,
do you... Oh, continue.
so yeah, no stars. This was solid. I'm a full disclaimer: in-person bias, drinking Purple Rain from the stadium. I would say a good 4 because it was physical. It was a physical 4.
I thought it was a good opener, solid opener for the show and the tone of everything. But I don't think that it was as good of a match as their Night of Champions match. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. Do we have Uncle Dave's star rating, or are we skipping that this time around?
I'm about to, you know what? Right as you said it, I pull it up. So I guess we have to play the episode of Guess That Rating, Purple Rain edition, because it's Minnesota. So cue up the Purple Rain.
Yeah, we do not have the budget for queuing up Purple Rain, so...
Shit. You should have told me. I would have gave you the video from the concert I went to when he played Purple Rain.
I don't think we could even play that.
What?
Copyright's is a bitch, my guy.
Yeah, copyrights are on there.
Yeah. Alright, so Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dizzle.
3 7/5.
Higher.
4 1/4.
4 1/4. You cheating, motherfucker.
Alright, now we have LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys defeating Jacob Fuck You, Jimmy, and Jey Uso in 11 minutes. I thought that this was a really good match. I think that this had all of the intensity and funness that a 6-man tag should probably have on a card like this. I don't think that there was never not a moment of Gaga in the match. I absolutely adore the fact that Solo did the rewind of Jey Uso's entrance, and he taunted him with that. I thought that was fantastic. And we got the hug between LA Knight and Solo at the end of the show, which was good as well. All in all, it was a good, fast-paced match. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it did what it needed to do in the time allowed it. And just an offbeat thing, that mask that Jacob came out in was fire as fuck. What say you, Kaliko?
Jacob's entrance almost burned my eyebrows. Full disclosure. That's how crazy it was, the fire. But anyways, Solo was such a goddamn fool in this match. I swear to God, he was just like, you couldn't take your eyes off of Solo because you were just like, damn, when he did the yeet shit. Oh my God, I got it on video. I have to send you what I was like playing ass. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When he did that, I'm so goddamn hard. It was so funny. His comedic timing is otherworldly. I must admit, like it is crazy. Uh, Overall, the match worked well. Uh, Jay taking the pin helps a lot because now you can kind of see. Well, Jay's frustrated, and especially being frustrated considering that like the difference a year makes for him, right? This time last year, he was just this was probably where it started to crash out. Because keep in mind, he lost the title,
Right.
and so he lost the title and was fighting Bronson Reed last year. So I mean,
Yeah, he was teaming with
so
Brandon against Bronson, the Bronze at SummerSlam
right,
last year.
right. So it kind of to me, and me digging into deep, it digs into that downward spiral for him. Um, LA gets the pin, gets to call his shot. Solid, solid, solid all around. Roy's got the win. Roy's got a win before he took an ass whooping the next night. But yeah,
That's
uh,
putting it mildly.
putting him out like yeah. So I mean, it all worked. It was honestly that match. I I felt like it could have, due to the comedic timing, it could have went a little longer for me because just to see what Solo was gonna do, you know.
Right. So, how many stars you give this one?
Just because Solo, it was a 4. It was a 4 to me for Solo. Just Solo alone. So just can't keep your eyes off of him.
I'm trying to find a reason to bump it down, but I'm not. There's no like really significant reason, so I would give it a 4 star as well. I thought it was a solid match for sure. All right, Uncle Dave. 3 and a quarter. Oh, and I believe we lost Kaliko. If Kaliko was
No, no higher.
higher,
Higher.
3.5.
3.5. You cheating, man.
Alright, then we have Gunther versus Nick Aldis, and Gunther defeating Nick Aldis in 11 minutes 40 seconds. I felt like this match started out really slowly, and it seemed like the crowd wasn't necessarily biting all of that much. I'm sorry to say this, but not a lot of people know who Nick Aldis is out of, the general manager role. So I could understand where, maybe some people didn't feel like, you know, it was something they would find interesting. But I would also say, they definitely brought it around where they had the people, cheering and clamoring and really got people invested in the match. I thought that, Gunto plays the best foil. You know, One thing that we don't talk about when it comes to Gunter is his ability to sell and his ability to tell a finely tuned story. And I feel like this was a great example of his storytelling prowess. Um, and just at the ending of the match, he even admitting, that was harder than I thought it was gonna be. It just, it makes Nick look so much better in that moment. And then obviously, at the very end, his wife and his son came in the ring, got to share that amazing moment with him. He got that amazing moment, having never stepped into a WWE ring. I felt like everything really meshed and worked really well in that match. What say you, Kaligo?
I mean, but what you were saying about Gunther, that fits into his character. Because his character is that his arrogance turns to hubris at times.
Right.
If that makes like that which is good because in the end he ends up getting what he wanted and he ends up showing he's the better guy. He just ends up where it's underestimating him. We've seen this story with Punk. That's literally Punk, Jay, name a person, where he lets his arrogance and his hubris comes. And you don't want to lose that. I mean, because people think it's boring old school, and it's like, no, it's just like he thinks he's just the better wrestler, point blank, period. And at times he thinks he's so good that he doesn't have to exercise as much energy that he thinks he does, which kind of makes him, that's the weakness, right?
Right.
Just last longer than what he thinks you are, and that sows doubt into Gunther. So if he loses, like how people, oh my God, they killed the career killer thing. No, that wasn't the point. Him ending the careers was just him being pretty much his own troll. Like, I'm knocking all these old motherfuckers off the park. So, and I'm the man. I'm the guy. I'm better than anybody in here. Put anybody in here now, snap them off, and then Nick comes in, and people may not. The casual fan may not know, but come on, man. Like, it's Minnesota. That's all they do. It's a wrestling-ish state. You know what I'm saying? So I think they would know, right? So, and I get your point where it started slow because I would have thought right when the bell rings, it's a Pier 6 brawl because they've been Pier 6 brawling the whole goddamn time anyway.
Right.
So I get that point because I'm like, damn. I mean, I would have thought they went at it like when Punk and McIntyre a couple years ago. But, you know, they took it to the mat and Nick was able to show what he was able to do. He came up a little short. He got his one match WWE clause. It got right back in that suit.
Quite literally the next night.
Literally. I was like, wait a minute. How you give up a job and then get rehired for the job the next day? I'm like, ow.
Right.
Ow. But whatever. The right person won. It was the right amount of time, especially considering, you know, Gunther pushing him to the deep end with the ring rust. So it kind of played into it.
How many stars you give this one?
By this time, I was probably like fifth Purple Rain in. A good 3.5. Good 3.5.
I agree with that. 3.5. Like I said, it was they knew what they had and they knew how to execute it perfectly. Maybe it's more than half a star more? 4 stars? I don't know. Yeah, I'm confident.
I mean, if they had to start it off with the brawl and then they got to the wrestling, I probably would have, you know. Like, had it not started off so slow because the whole point of the build-up was that they literally were like, we just want to fucking knock each other's heads off, right?
Right.
So when the bell rings and I don't see that after you as a guy and you're telling me, you know, you guys can't stand each other and the bell rings and y'all just doing this deep stare, like, no, y'all go at it. So that's why it's a 3.5.
Fair enough. I'll stay at the 3.5 as well. No. I was going with 4. Let's go with 4. 4 for that match. Alright, that brings us to Fatal Influence, JC Jane to the beat. Hey, you don't even have to move your feet. Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed defeated Nikki and Brie Bella and Paige. in 7 minutes 30 seconds. I wanted to like this match so much because obviously it's JC Jane and Fatal Influence's, first PLE on the main roster. And it just seems like everything was kind of against them, if I'm being honest. Like even their entrance, like the camera was not in the proper position. The Bellas were in their way during their entrance, and then you had I don't want to say it was ring rust or what, but the Bellas did not necessarily flow as well as they could have. And I mean, Brie quite literally got injured during the match. And I do feel really bad for her because, her sister literally just came back. And then, she's now on, the injured list. So, that in its own really sucks. But at the end of the day, Fatal Influence got the W. So I'm happy. So it could have been a better match by all means, but it is what it is. But what the outcome I was looking for, I got. So I'm good. What say you, Kaliko?
Hey, you said they like Tupac against all odds in this bitch. Yeah, you could tell, like, Paige was kind of there. Bree, you could tell Bree and Nikki just, it's almost like, I mean, Bree, it's an unfortunate injury, so I hate to say that. And then, of course, Nikki coming back from injury, so there's a rest. So, in essence, you can make the argument that a cohesive unit took advantage of two people with ring rust and one who's actually trying to get, well, three people with ring rust because Paige is pretty much in the same boat. I mean, getting the cobwebs out. So you can make that argument, but that still doesn't deter from like the flow and the timing of the match. Give Nikki credit for brunching all the heel work after the match.
Right.
Because Brie was sitting there like, get me the fuck out of here. Get me to Kaiser right now.
And not Ludwig.
Exactly. So, I mean, so I get at that point. So we'll get to see where that rivalry with the Bellas and Paige go. And then you get to see where Fatal Influence goes, because right now they got the tag team gold, and that means they could just hop to every goddamn show.
And JC is in contention for the United States Championship. She has a match with Tiffany next week on SmackDown.
I mean, I still could see Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank winner.
That's
calling it.
Still very much prevalent, I would say. If we ever get to Money in the Bank. Unless they decide to postpone it until December.
I mean, shit, it might as well just be in the Royal Rumble match. Or put it right back in the Mania match. Shit, at this point.
More or less, yeah, I'd say. How many stars do you give this one?
2.5. Generous? A generous 2.5.
I'll give it the Fatal Influence 1 bump. 3 stars.
Oh, gosh.
Alright, then we have CM Punk. Oh, no, we didn't do Uncle Dave's match for Gunther and Nick either. So we should start with Nick and Gunther with Dave's star rating.
Let's go.
3.5.
3.5. This ain't fun no more.
The Fatal Influence match. 2 1/4.
Lower.
1 7/5.
No.
2.
1.5.
1.5. No love for Fatal Influence. Alright, that brings us to CM Punk defeating Cody Rhodes in 30 minutes 10 seconds to retain the WWE Championship. I thought that this was a solid match, but I mean, they're two of the best that WWE has right now to offer. So I can't see why it wouldn't have been a good match, honestly. I would say that if there was any, issues I had with this match, it would probably be that horribly missed moonsault of CM Punk. It was just, terrible, honestly. But other than that, I thought it was a solid match. Randy Orton made his, return, cost Cody the match. All was well, I would say. What say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, ringside for this with 2. Pretty good, solid match. Good storytelling. That moonsault was shitty. Punk. Nah. Never again. I did like the fact that he came out with the Green Bay trolling. As a Chicago fan, trolling them with the Green Bay is just a whole nother level. Which made me go, okay, I guess he's the heel tonight. Kudos to the production team for that Street Fighter intro. That shit was nice. Not even gonna lie, that was pretty dope. Orton's coming back. That's good because now that keeps Cody busy, which is what everybody wants, him away from the title. So, yeah, all in all, it was good. It's good to see Punk continue winning at SummerSlam. After taking the L at Mania twice. This is 2 years in a row he lost at Mania and came back at SummerSlam and won the main event. So, hey.
Right.
Gotta knock it.
Always
the summer of Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like 88 and we're going to be yelling Summer of Punk.
How many stars you give this one?
That moonsault takes away. That moonsault, brother, takes it away. A solid, I'll give it a 4.25.
I'll just give it a 4. Alright, Uncle Dave. I say that he gave this 4.25 as well.
This is not fun anymore. I don't like you guessing right.
Because I see you vibing with Dave over there with your quarters.
Well, sir, I was drunk by this point. So drunk. I got a night 1 story for you. See, and it got to do with the chairs. Which WWE, they fucked people over on those chairs. We'll get to that after night 1.
Well, that brings us to the main event, the last match, what everybody came to see. Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar in hell in a cell in 11 minutes 40 seconds. Might quite possibly be the shortest Hell in a Cell ever, but you would have to quote me on that. But yeah, I thought it was a solid match. I mean, nobody expected this to go long. Nobody expected it to be pretty. It kind of was what it was, but it did get the job done that it wanted to do. I thought the little nod to The Undertaker was really nice. Uh, and then, yeah, obviously, Oba took the W, cementing himself as the future, the next big thing. And, yeah, good way to end the show. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, that was the kitchen sink match. Everything but the kitchen sink match. Brock pulling out the tombstone told you what he needed. What he thought he had to do. So, yeah, I mean, there was that. And yet, it was not enough as the ruler takes his fate and dethrones Brock Lesnar. And a short but sweet match. It was short and sweet. Which, I mean, that's always Brock's matches. He's not, but I can't remember the last time he had a match over 30 minutes.
I can't remember the last time he had a match over 15 minutes.
Hey, his entrances are about as long as the matches.
He's there for a good time, not a long time.
Hey, he gets paid he doesn't get paid by the hour. That's for damn sure. Anyway.
How many stars do you give this?
So, short, sweet, to the point. I mean, a 4, considering that all the gaga after. I mean, Brock is short on words. I'm the past, he's the now. Bye, bitch. Like, he might as well just said that. He's here, I'm gone, bye, bitch. That's what he might as well have said.
I mean, basically, that's what he said. So, yeah.
I'm just giving you the layman's terms.
I mean, it definitely wasn't pretty, but I mean, in terms of Hell in a Cell matches, it was definitely not up there, in my opinion. Considering the last Hell in a Cell match we had was Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and that was, an absolute 5-star match. So, I'm gonna have to give this a 3.5, if I'm being completely honest.
Fair enough. I was there, so I give it. I gave y'all the disclaimer. I was there, so it's getting a bump. Right? The I was there bump with the I was drinking bump, plus the fact that I didn't know that they stopped selling alcohol till I was 2 nights in bump. Anyway.
Oh, Uncle Dave. 3.25?
3.25? No, higher.
3.5.
3.5.
Alright. Night 1. Show as a whole. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I told you, thumbs up, because I like the flow. The matches didn't seem too long, right?
Right.
Because to me, it felt like night 1 breezed on by. Even though night 2 with the Danhausen match breezed quicker, but for some odd reason, it felt like night 1 had the right flow timing-wise. You didn't feel like each match didn't feel rushed, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, the least amount of time given was 7 minutes. Was at the and the match given the most time was Punk and Cody with 30 minutes. There seems to be like a baseline of 11 minutes for every other match except the opener. So,
yeah.
I mean, every match was given, let's say, be generous and say 10. Every match was given 10 minutes, except the ones that were maybe a bit more important.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree. I really enjoyed night one. I thought that it was just a solid overall SummerSlam. So I definitely give it a thumbs up as well.
Now let's get into the story about these motherfucking chairs. Because one, there was a critical error on one of the chairs. And why do I say one of the chairs? Well, because somebody in WWE thought it was a good idea to go, hey, we got two main events. How about we do two separate chairs for one night?
So there's two separate chairs for one night.
There's night one has two chairs. And we didn't realize it until like halfway into the show.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there going, wait. I just see, because like where I sat was Punk Cody. So I'm like, okay, Punk Cody, cool. And then I'm looking at the other side and I'm like, wait a minute. There's a Brock Oba chair too?
And that is bullshit.
So the way that they set this up was depending on the section you were in was the chair that you got. So if you were probably like the opposite side of the cameras, you got a Brock Oba chair. If you were on the opposite sides where the ring behind the announcers and the ramp, you got a Punk Cody chair. Here's the kicker. The Punk Cody chair had one huge error on it because it said Punk versus Cody street fight.
What?
Which threw everybody off because we was like, wait a minute. The match is a street fight? Where the fuck was it a street fight? So, SummerSlam, for the first time in history that I know of histories, you need 3 chairs to complete that set. I got the 3 chairs, but it was just a bitch to I was able to get out with 2 Punk Codys and a couple had 2 Oba Brocks, and we were like, hey bro, just 1 for 1. Let's just go ahead. We were trading them out like Pokemon. But yes, this is the first SummerSlam. I mean, this is the first PLE that I know of in which it's a 3-chair set, because night 2 was just Punk Rollins. I mean, not Punk Rollins, but Roman Rollins.
Okay.
So everyone got a Reigns Rollins, and then depending on where you sat, you either got a Reigns Rollins and a Punk Cody, or a Reigns Rollins and a Brock Oba, or if you like me, who is an eclectic chair collector, got all 3 of them bitches.
Okay.
And I was like, that's a bitch move, WWE. But I get why they did it. Brock's from Minnesota. Why the fuck would they not have Brock on the? You know what I'm saying?
Just
Why the fuck?
Put Cody and Punk on the top of the chair.
Oh no! Both of them are on the bottom. All of them are on the bottom. So all the main events are on the bottom. Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is if you didn't have 2 wristbands. If you had 2 wristbands, you were good to go. And shout out to Minnesota. They got this shit right. Because there was no fighting, there was no arguing, because you got your wristband the moment you walked in. You got your wristbands when you walked in. So you got to the floor, you got your chairs. Like, hey, can I just get two? Can I get one of each? Yeah, go for it. I love Minnesota. That's why I like Minnesota. See, they ain't trying to tackle a bitch like Vegas. They ain't trying to shoot people like LA. It's just, smooth.
In LA. Of course, they don't need a reason to shoot you in LA, and you know that.
They don't, but if they security, they want one.
Yeah, they want the smoke.
Yeah, they want the smoke. So that's what I said. So I mean, that's what I said. Minnesota gets a shout out from me. That's why I fucks top easily a great city. It's a great city. Downtown could use some work, but yeah, as far as nightlife. But yeah.
Now let's get into night 2 of SummerSlam. It took place on Sunday. I felt like good vibes were coming in from, the night prior. So, there was definitely an optimistic, approach to everything, I would say. So yeah. I thought that night 2 was okay. I didn't think it was as good as night 1. And we'll get into those reasons, when we get to the actual review of everything. But no, I thought that the matches that needed to get a pop definitely got a pop, and we'll obviously get into the main event when we get into the main event. But let's go into the first match. But actually, what was your thought on the show as a whole?
Night 2, the meat was good. The sides were a little left to be desired. So if I had to put this in a theme, night 1 was a good 3-course meal, and night 2 was good steak with not as good sides.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. A fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship, which was supposed to be Sami Zayn and Finn Balor, turned into Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Gunther, and a returning Kevin Owens. And man, did I fucking pop for Kevin Owens. Always been a Kevin Owens guy. Will always be a Kevin Owens guy. The crowd pop for Kevin Owens. You could even see on his face, how emotional he was. Honestly, at that point, it didn't really matter what the match was. It was just, happy to see Kevin Owens' moment. Sami's, expression was priceless in that match. Sami is kind of just killing it right now when it comes to, his character and whatnot. And it obviously gives him a lot to bitch about right now as well. So that's good. And then obviously the right guy won. You got Kevin Owens coming back after 18 months away. Yeah, give him a title match. No complaints. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, I was next to my buddy. I broke his chain. That's how bad. That's how much I popped for Kevin Owens. But yeah, it was crazy. You know what was funny? Because when they put in Gunther, you could see the smugness on Gunther's face, right?
Right.
It was almost like, oh yeah, I can do this, and haha, I won and I got it. And then when he came with that, oh no, that didn't mean I didn't put another person. And KO, oh my God, the roof blew off. It may have been 33. It sounded like it was 73. Cause we were gone. I didn't even know he was coming back. So I thank God I didn't stick with the dirt sheets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So glad he's back. I mean, just in a sense of just health, first off. And then secondly, to come back and win, which gives this 1 month Sammy spiral even more even more gasoline. Jesus. And then two, Gunther gets to complain more to Nick Aldis of getting fucked over. So you have those two things. Finn can continue dealing with the Tongans, and then of course we get Owens versus Punk, which I think would probably be the craziest mic show this side of the year.
I mean, it always seems like it's getting that way from what they did on SmackDown. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the verbal jousting between the two of them in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great.
Okay. How many stars you give this?
5. He popped back. No, just nah. I can't go 5. Jesus Christ. But it was a good 4.5. Him coming back, hitting them hits, hitting the stunners, hitting just KO being KO. It was just awesome.
I give it 4. It was definitely nice to see Kevin Owens back. Definitely wanted to see Kevin Owens back. Was not sure if we'd ever see Kevin Owens back. So, I'm definitely happy seeing KO. Always been more of a KO guy than a Sami Zayn guy. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm so glad he's back. I'm just glad he's back. Yeah, just doing what he loves. So it's going to be interesting with them going against each other. So I'm, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Uncle Dave. I don't think Uncle Dave liked this match. 3.25.
You didn't think he liked the match? Higher, but
3.5.
3.5.
Okay. Um, and then we have Baron Corbin defeating Trick Williams in 9 minutes and 5 seconds to win the WWE United States Championship. For all of the aura and, charisma that Kevin Owens has, there is an opposite and a charisma vacuum, and that is Baron Corbin. Um, and the weird thing is, everything the neck below, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with, but his face looks like, when you create a wrestler and you have that blank slate at the beginning, that's what he looks like. Like, there's no, like, fucking expression or anything significant with his looks. And it's so off-putting. And I didn't like the match. I felt like he kind of sopped up all of Trick's, charisma. And I don't think that the match flowed quite well as well. It kind of just stayed on a level and never went below or above it by any means. And I felt like the ending really was a wet fart, honestly. It didn't seem like it didn't seem like they connected well with what they were doing. It just kind of felt like soft meat and potatoes, like soft. It didn't connect fully with what they were doing, and it just didn't seem genuine. So Yeah, I was not a fan of this match. Let's say easily.
Well, damn. Tell us how you really feel. Um, it wasn't bad. I mean, I think Trick winning kind of, made some sense. I mean, Trick losing made some sense. If you're trying to push him main event status, right? Am I?
But there's not really a spot for him in the main event right now. Kevin Owens
I
is wrestling CM Punk right now. You gotta imagine Cody and Randy is in the wings. Even like fucking Sami Zayn and Gunther is, in the wings adjacent. So I mean, there's not a lot of room for him to slide in right now where everything is, I would say.
well, I tend to disagree because he's gonna do one or two things. It's one or two things are gonna happen.
Okay.
Either either all roads leads to Mello or money. So he's winning money in the bank or he's going back with Mello.
God, I hope he's not going back with Mello. That would be a step
I
back.
mean, ah, step back to go forward.
And I mean, why Baron Corbin? Why do they really hate Mello that much that they couldn't have given him that, little bump of, I get to say I at least beat, you know, Trick Williams for the United States champion? Like,
Well, I
again,
think
do they hate him that much?
no. I just think because if Trick had a won, everyone would have wanted the Mello Trick match. So this is just a slight, in my mind, slight detour. Because let's say this, and let's just hypothetically let's say Mello beats Corbin. Now we got this dance. It's just a continuation of the dance.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but,
Because because the road you want to get to is to trick Mello.
but didn't they have Trick Mello, or am I blanking on the rematch?
I don't think they ever had Trick Mello on the main roster.
Yeah, they did, but Baron Corbin interfered in the match. But
Yeah, so that's my point. So it's going to be a dance. It's just continuing that dance. Unless he's going to win Money in the Bank. Because right now, you forget their TKO's kind of being, excuse me, big on trying to push the younger crowd, the younger kids now.
well, we shall see if that actually happens. Uh, how many stars you give this?
I mean, it wasn't Trick's finest moment, but it did. But when have you ever had a SummerSlam where it all went great and no heel won?
Right.
Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You
SummerSlam is
you,
WrestleMania for the
you
heels.
should have known this because what heel was gonna win other than Fatal Influence?
Yeah. Sometimes I even forget my methodology when it comes to these shows.
Like WWE go give you that one. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They gonna give it to you. They just gave it to you in a way that you didn't like it. That which makes it even better. Makes it even better because you didn't see it coming. We all didn't see it coming. But hey, two and a half. A good 2.5.
I'll just go with 2.
Two. He said, "Fuck it, just two."
Yeah.
Damn, just two. Just did two.
Uncle Dave gave this 2.5.
You think Uncle Dave gave this? He gave it lower than 2.5. I can tell you that.
2?
Lower than that.
1 and 7/5.
You cheating now, man? What the? I'm.
It took me 3 times.
Don't matter. I think you playing with me.
It's literally your game.
But you cheat, man.
Now we have the 5-way ladder match to determine the interim WWE Women's Champion. Chelsea Green defeated Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Lash Legend, and Tiffany Stratton in 13 minutes 5 seconds. I don't think that this was, the most innovative or spectacle when it comes to ladder matches. I would say that they did just have, a solid, ladder match for what they were able to do. I will say that, can't remember who it was, but Tiffany slammed onto that ladder and she literally sprung up from the ladder. Like it was a nasty, shot. So I mean, kudos for her taking that bump for sure. I think that the memorable moment was obviously the end. Chelsea Green finally getting her comeuppance, getting that, world title. And, a lot of people appreciate it. And a lot of people pop for it. And it was even a moment it seemed like she was surprised that happened. Which was nice to see. So, yeah. Definitely right person won, I would say. Good match, not necessarily a memorable match. Obviously, the thing that will be taken away from this is that, Chelsea won the match. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, considering it was really impromptu, like very impromptu. Because usually when you're planning them, I mean, this ladder match was kind of put together with 2 weeks left.
Something like that.
So, I mean, I can't expect them to go ladder mode in 2 weeks because usually, Money in the Bank, you get at least 2 months, right? Kind of prep spots and all that kind of stuff, right? So, I give them grace on that. That being said, Lash Legend looked fucking like a wrecker in this match. Like, she was kicking ass and taking names, personally. Charlotte looked solid as the wily vet. Tiffy, the hometown girl, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They did a spot with Jade and Lash. And I was like, ooh, they should have let them fight. I was like, ooh, that's going to be juicy. Because them powerhouses, when they get together, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong when they fight. But, of course, they did all the super heel stuff. But, hey, I mean, everyone was happy for Chelsea. Chelsea earned it. Can't knock that. Somewhere Michael P.S. Hayes is rolling over in his fanny pack.
And going do.
Probably going damn. Anyway. But yeah, no, the right person won, and people were happy to have her win. Now it's just a matter of is this going to be a permanent champion? And that's what we're hoping for, right? I mean, that's all we can hope for.
How many stars do you give this one?
Once again, I was there. Bump 3.5. It was pretty good. 3.5 is solid. It wasn't nothing to write home about. I give them the credit for the 2 weeks notice. Basically, a 2 weeks notice ladder match.
So,
3.5.
okay. And, I will give it a 3.5 as well. That seems like the most solid, choice to have for it, for sure. Um, Uncle Dave. 3?
Lower.
2.5.
Lower.
2?
Dave was on it. 2.25.
Damn. No love. For
No love
Dave.
for Dave. No love.
Yeah.
No love.
I think that's a great segue into the Human Monies on a pole match. Danhausen defeated Dominic Mysterio in 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And I mean, honestly, what are we doing here? Like, I get Danhausen is popular. I think that the Saturday night's main event match was completely fine, and it was a good little moment. It was at fucking Madison Square Garden. You had that, complete abortion of a segment on Raw with Joe Henry. And then you give us this. I'm I'm off. I like Danhausen. I get people want to see Danhausen, but there's a place for Danhausen, and it's not in matches against high, you know, big, big up and coming stars like Dominic Mysterio. I I couldn't even really tell you what happened in this match because I'm trying to block it out of my conscience. But yeah, there's a place for Danhausen on a card, sure, in a segment. Is there a room for Danhausen on every, PLE in an actual match? No. I would say use Danhausen more sparingly in a wrestling capacity because, I mean, I like Danhausen. I do. But, I mean, nobody is thinking that Danhausen is a 5-star wrestler in the Tokyo Dome. So let him do what he's good at and kind of leave the rest off of, the bigger shows like this. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, as long as he's moving merch, he's gonna be on the show. So you might as well get used to that. Secondly, full disclaimer: I went to go get a drink and came back, and this shit was over. I was like, God damn, I missed the match. Like literally, like right when the last match went, I was like, okay, let me go get the drink real quick. I got the drink, came back, that shit was over. Like, what the fuck? That's how quick that match went. Pretty much like a bathroom break.
It was quite literally your bathroom break match.
Unintentionally, because I just went to go get like more beer, more booze. But anyways.
So you didn't even get to see the match.
Yes, this star rating is not applicable. Blah, blah, blah. Literally not applicable. Because I literally went to go fucking. I literally stepped out for 5 minutes and this bitch was old. Came back, I was like the Gable match, and then I was like, yeah, we still got the Deadhouse match. She's like, that match passed. I was like, what the fuck? See, that was my second what the fuck. See, the first what the fuck was Trick. And then the second one was that one. I was like, what the fuck?
Alright, so I guess I don't even feel comfortable giving this 2 stars. 1.5. Yeah, 1.5.
Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah. And I feel like I'm vibing with Uncle Dave. 1.5.
Nope.
2?
Nope.
2.25.
One.
One, no.
One. Just one.
Okay. And that brings us to the Intercontinental Championship match. Chad Gable defeated Penta in 11 minutes 10 seconds, capturing his first ever singles championship in WWE. I know it was a solid match. It was a good match. With all the clusterfuckery that we had through the whole night, it was quite nice just to have a normal singles one-on-one match with, no gaga, just, pure proper wrestling. And I mean, you can't get too better than, Chad Gable versus Penta. And I feel like Penta has been such a solid hand for WWE in the last, couple of months. And again, delivered a great performance with Chad Gable. I mean, obviously, Chad Gable has been having a couple of bangers here and there, as well. So, yeah, considering everything else, this was definitely a good palate cleanser, to say the least. But what say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid match. It was really good, really well placed after that. What surprised me was how quick Penta tapped, but now considering that he was like, yeah, I'll slide this over and get a title match in Mexico. But yeah, Gable getting the moment, and I like that he did the whole recall to AAA. My name is Chad Gable. I was like, oh, at least they put it full circle. They put it all full circle for him, and you got to give WWE credit for that. They at least gave this story the full circle treatment,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
as it should, as it should.
No, I definitely agree with that. How many stars do you give this?
It was solid. Solid 4. It was a solid 4. Considering from Danhausen, shit, I didn't watch Danhausen, so I guess I'm taking the stars from Danhausen and giving it to donating stars from Danhausen to Gable.
I will give this 4 stars as well, just for not being the other 2 matches that I disliked on this card.
Jesus.
And Uncle Dave. I feel like Uncle Dave is vibing with this. 4 stars.
Nope.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
4.25?
4.25.
Okay. And that brings us to the last match, the main event. The reason you bought a ticket to night 2, I guess. Roman Reigns defeated Seth Rollins to retain the heavyweight championship in 33 minutes 25 seconds. Damn. Roman Reigns is fucking cooking. He has that absolute banger with CM Punk at Mania. Quite arguably a top 10, WrestleMania main events. And then, to turn around and have quite literally maybe even a better match with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. It told such a perfect story. And, it didn't need to necessarily be spelled out for you. Like, you knew all of the beats. You knew where they were going. You knew where everything was lying. And it was just so masterfully done. I'll admit, this title run with Roman right now when he does actually get in the ring to wrestle, he's cooking. He's fucking cooking up great matches. And again, I think that this was quite arguably one of the best SummerSlam main events of all time. It's definitely going to be up there in the discussion. And, just for that last moment between, Seth and Roman, where, they reunited to do the fist bump. Oh, such nostalgia, such a fantastic moment to end the show, because there's been so much animosity between the two of them since that moment where Seth Rollins, betrayed Roman, that, to kind of put it behind them now and go forward, it was just the perfect moment. What say you, Kaligo?
Funny how Roman wasn't cool with it till Roman got his way. I'm just saying. I'm
Isn't that the
I'm
story
gonna.
of Roman?
That's my point. I'm gonna say something that's not really controversial, in my opinion, but might be in most people's. Roman has not changed.
Okay.
He has not changed. He has not shown atonement. He has not done anything to show that he has changed himself from his ways in the bloodline. The only thing that has changed is our opinion of him, because we missed him when Cody left, when Cody got the belt.
I mean, true. Right. But I feel like this was some character development for Roman. I mean, I don't think that we would have got
it
that
was
from
character
him
development.
otherwise.
No, go ahead.
No, we wouldn't have seen this in his original run as, champion, I would say. So, we are seeing. I mean, it's not like major leaps and bounds, changing who he is. But little things, just like letting go of, Seth Rollins and that, animosity that he had towards him. I would say that is a bit of a change in pace for him.
How can I put it? How can I put this? It's a bit in a change in the sense that he finally got over a hump that he couldn't get over in 10 years. So I will give you that. But it wasn't like he. I get his character, because his character is not meant to say I forgive you or I atone.
Right.
Yet, because he's trying to do it through certain actions, but the way he's talking to his family is not different than what he was as the original.
Oh no, you're absolutely right about that part. Especially on
So,
Monday.
both parts can be true, right? So, yes, he took the leap forward in acknowledging, and even he said that he was like, "Well, I'll acknowledge him," because at some point he was a peer. So, and Seth pretty much is his equal. As much as he doesn't think Seth is his equal, Seth is his equal.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so that kind of cut into what happened Monday, but my point still stands that his abuse of atonement to his family is not different at all. That being said, yes, Roman and Seth did a lot of callbacks, and And people were sitting there, what if Moxley is like, nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
I don't know why people keep praying for that. I don't know why they pray for it, but it's a horrible pray.
There's better things to pray about, I would say.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Anyways, like lower gas prices. Anyways, but anywho's back to the topic. It was a great match. So many callbacks with the Shield. So many little mannerisms in which they told the story of how this betrayal had fractured. Because, I mean, that choice was also tough on Seth. And that's where I think people kind of they missed that point because they beleaguer that Roman was betrayed, but you could tell Seth kind of had some guilt at the end there for doing it.
Right. And we got Seth's atonement to Dean Ambrose a couple years later, where they were able to tag team with each other, but we never really got that same story with Roman, I would say.
Yeah, so this was essentially the retiring of the Shield as we know it. It's not coming back. So all those Shield shirts and Shield memorabilia, and I'm speaking to myself, just go ahead and keep them or burn them, bro. Just
Right. So, how many stars you give this one?
I have to think, like, is this match better than Punk Roman? In some instances, it is. In some instances, it's not. But if you would say that this was a top match in 2026, one of the top matches in 2026, then you would have to say yeah. So I don't know how many fives I've given this year, but this will be one of them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. 5 stars for sure. And for people that don't know, I gave the CM Punk Roman match.
I think we both gave that 5.
I gave it 4.75 because of the steel step shot. So because
yeah, you hated on the steel.
Yeah, I could not
that match. To be fair, they gave them leeway the same way they gave fucking Punk Roman leeway because they were fucking running around in the stands and shit. So the leeway was there on both sides, both matches.
Yes, true, but there was not a blatant disregard of the rules, like in the Punk match.
I wouldn't say blatant. I wouldn't say blatant. More so that was just they don't like each other.
Yes, but it was in front of the referee. The referee saw it. At least with the chair shot in, the attempted chair shot in the SummerSlam match, this referee was down and out. So there was, if he did actually hit him, there would have been no, repercussions. Does that make sense?
Unless it was an impromptu street fight like the Punk Cody.
Yeah. Somebody needs to be fired, honestly. If that's what they had on the chair.
No, that is what is on the chair. It ain't no if that was on the chair. That is on the chair. Got photos to show.
So
I guess they got so hyped about the Street Fighter movie, but
so we're big and unanimous in that this was a 5-star match.
yeah,
And then Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dizzle.
4.5.
Higher, actually.
4 7/5.
That's the one.
There was no way that he was given this 5 stars. I mean, it's
because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
I mean, it's just as good. It means just as much. Then if it means that fucking much, then give it the whole fucking star, asshole. But I digress. Alright, night 2. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I was there, thumbs up. I'm never gonna thumbs down the shit I was at. Unless it was just blatantly horrible.
Didn't you give thumbs down to WrestleMania this year, night 1 at least?
I gave it in the middle.
Okay.
It was middling. It was very middling. Very middling. But night 2 had a good opening and a good closing. So people are going to remember that more than anything, which is why I think more people think night 2 was better, which to me, I'm thinking night 1 was better throughout the board, match for match.
Right. No, I definitely give this a thumbs up as well. If I was to go back and watch this, so I would go back and watch it. There was content on there that was worth watching over again. Obviously,
Oh yeah, SummerSlam. Oh yeah, just Solo yeeting all over the place was worth it.
No, I mean night 2.
Oh yeah, night 2. Yeah, the KO pop, the Roman match. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those reasons, I'm for it. So night 1 or night 2, which one do you think was better?
I told everybody I thought night 1 was the better flow. Me personally, because night 1 only had really one chink in the armor of a match.
Right.
But other than that, everything flowed great, and it would and I will say, night 1 match for match was the more physically imposing matches to me.
Loki, I agree.
Just seemed like they were just hitting each other a little harder.
I mean, I agree with you. I definitely felt match for match was definitely better, and there was nothing on the show that made me go ugh, which is always appreciated. So yeah, even though night 2 had the better main event, I would say night 1 had the overall better show. So night 1, night 2 as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs up, but WWE, don't you dare make me try to take 3 chairs home. What the fuck is wrong with I got 3 chairs in my garage, and I had to explain to my son, wait, they had 3 chairs? He was like, bring me back a chair. He's like, I can't bring you back a chair. He's like, why come you can't bring me back a chair? Because I'm bringing back 3 chairs, okay? Three of them. That's why. Like, shit. They got. Oh, also shout out Amazon. Oh my God, whoever was. I've somehow reason brought because I'm not trying to pay $200 each chair to ship it because that's what FedEx was trying to charge. Uh, so so shout out to whoever sells these chair bags that was on Amazon. I got for $20. Clutch, 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 clutch.
You can bring it on the plane with them? Baggage claim?
Yeah, if you have it in a bag. I threw them chairs in a bag. It had a little clip on it, clipped them things together, put them in my bag. They threw it under the plane. Got my chairs back, perfect condition. Clutch. Or you could do it the old-fashioned way and just take them bitches as a carry-on. You could still carry, but the problem was that SummerSlam this year, 3 chairs.
Right.
I look goofy as hell trying to walk through 3 chairs. 3 chairs through the goddamn airport. My brother was there. They wrapped this shit because he's military. They take care of him. But as far as me, regular veteran, civilian, no.
Oh, well, I definitely give the show as a whole a thumbs up as well. I enjoyed this year's SummerSlam. Um, Worked well, flowed well. Like I said, Roman and Seth was, one to definitely be watched. And yeah. Alright, that will conclude our coverage of SummerSlam Night 1 and Night 2 in this episode as a whole. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday. Join us this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. As on this Wednesday, we interview Joey Knight Jr. And every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Extra and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
Ooh, I am Kaliko, and the Kaliko Chronicles. I am starting to upload the SummerSlam trips editing. About to be on the Chronicles, as we say. Also, shout out to Minnesota. Shout out to the good people of Minnesota, the great people of Minnesota, the lovely people who gave me, the cheeseburger with the cheese in the middle. In the fish fry joint where I saw it, looked like somebody shot it up, and I saw an Indian dude sitting there eating the fish unbothered, which made me go, that is the spot I need to eat at. And I did not disappoint. JJ Fish Fry. See, I can name you all the restaurants I went to. It was pretty dope. Not a bad restaurant I went to, which says a lot.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
In WWE, if you do 3 chairs again, I'm going to break somebody's kneecap. I swear to God. That was just... I got PTSD carrying 2 chairs to the hotel. Them bitches was...
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.